Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with another episode of GravyTraining. And those of you that are really quick will have already seen that there is a epic that has been released today for Zola. And you know that if I'm reliable for one thing, it's making sure that you guys have the skinny on all the new stuff. So here I'm going to be doing a epic spotlight on Zola with epic, and what else would you expect except for me to have a fully 6-starred max epic Zola. So without further ado, let's get to it. So I have her runed heavily right now for defense with some festives. That may change. So I've got a blue festive on her, a blue reptilian on her for defense, and then defense and a chance to stone on basic attacks. That power is awesome. And it's going to get even more disgusting with the epic. Now another festive. I have two festives on her. Two festives on her, so that she can do one of her Snake NATO round 1. And then I've got a Guardian rune and a Tank rune. So she is pretty beefcake in the defense category. Here are her stats: about 7,200 attack, 23.5 defense, decent skill, decent health, good chance. Her passives, like all Gorgons, she has Kindred Morning, so when a reptile dies that's equal level, equal or higher, she gains an ability for 2 turns. That can be debuffed. She does much more damage to stone targets. So does everybody else that's a Gorgon. Fanged Friends, this is the reason to have her. She is the Valken or the Solaris or the Jinn equivalent of reptiles. So she increases the damage for all reptile allies, meaning with Viperia it's disgusting. Reptile allies also gain invincibility when purging venom for 1 turn. A lot of the abilities purge venom, so that's what that is. Some of these, if you've seen my initial new release for the hero, you'll have seen some of these, not all of them. I didn't have her fully ascended when I first started, so. Bengal Triad, if on a team with 2 or more allied Gorgons, all Gorgons start the dungeon invincible for 1 turn. It's actually pretty nice. It actually makes full Gorgon teams pretty viable. Even with shield piercing, it's pretty nice on offense. On defense, people can selectively get past it. On offense, it's Cold-Blooded Killer. She is immune to freeze and deals 2 times damage to water targets and targets immune to freeze. That means that Valken and Emily and all the other heroes that are immune to freeze, Selwyn, Constructs, and everybody else, she does double damage. Now, right now, her damage isn't super awesome, although I haven't even run her in a single battle with the epic yet, but regardless, and she's mystical, so she does bonus damage versus tanks and slow target. I mean, she is going to obliterate Igorok. Her basic abilities. So her Venomous Claw is a basic attack to do 15-12 plus 30%. We'll talk about her epic real quick since that's tied to the basic attack. So she gets 30% attack, which is awesome. She gets 20% defense, which is awesome. She gets 20% max health, which is meh, but I mean, she's got to get 3 stats, usually as long as attack and defense, the first 2. That's damn good. And she gets a 30% chance to deal 2x damage and stone the target and gain invincibility. Stoning targets is amazing. So basically, on every attack, because she's got the reptile ring, she has a 15% chance to stone a target. That doesn't say just basic attacks, and it's not just basic attacks. So 15% chance for her to do that. On a basic attack, which can trigger an epic proc, she has another 30% chance on top of that to deal 2x damage, stone the target, and become invincible. Now, shield piercing against Gorgons is definitely a weakening agent. It's kind of their Achilles heel. But they get invulnerability so much, and you're going to be having to use basic attacks against them so much that at this point, I mean, even if you're just using Zola and Viperia, you're going to be... I was using it yesterday and kicking butt with those two. Today, it's a hands down. I think reptiles are now, assuming you have all the epics, and that is not a small feat right now. In a month, when you can get all of the epics for free, or if you're willing to shell out for like her epic right now, if you're willing to spend the money, this is not a bad investment. If you have, I mean, if she's not like 2-star, if you have her 4-star or better, and you are okay with spending the money on it, it's not a bad investment. I mean, I really like this hero. It's not my new favorite or anything. Like, I still, Jin and Deadeye are probably one of my 2 favorites. Agnon, like, but she is definitely a nice hero. Like, on par with Zulk, and I like Zulk. I mean, her abilities are just really, really just dirty. And I'll go into those right now. So back here, we've got Icy Glare. This one is just a lot of fun. So, ranged water attack on all enemies, deals 3175 base damage. That's to each enemy, so that's actually not bad. With a chance to freeze or stone each target. Purges all venom on targets for bonus damage. And this is only... Well, this one's 5 turns to come back up, but with the energy runes, it'll come back a little bit sooner. Well, I guess technically. So that's not bad at all. But this one is really nice to, like, usually out of 4 heroes, I'll stone 2. And 2 stoned heroes. Stoned heroes, basically, they turn into a garden statue. And they take highly reduced damage against everybody but Gorgons. But you stone 2 heroes with her, and then Viperia hits them, and it's just, like, those 2 heroes are dead. They're absolutely dead. Snakes on the plains, immediately after that, those heroes are down. And it can be done to Emily, it can be done to Balkan. I mean, it is really nice crowd control. Very, very nice. And on top of that, the fact that you've got these extra runes to do it and everything else, it is really, really nice. Then the also very, very fun and also very, very AoE, Snake NATO. Snake NATO. It's a ranged water attack on all enemies once again for 3477 base damage. Chance to apply 7 venom each target. 7 venom and 1 strike is a lot. There's like 1 ability that is on Compressa that provides 10. It's the only one with more, and this does it to the entire group. It means if you land this, one of the things that she does is her passive, when you consume, when you purge venom, i.e., when you do something like this that purges all venom on the targets for bonus damage, she gains invincibility. Anybody gains invincibility, which means that Viperia, when she does snakes on a plane, that will purge that venom, give her invincibility, plus she gets it for a death blow and a bunch of other stuff. So you're just stacking on stacks of invincibility. By putting 7 venom out there, the next reptile that hits that uses a purging ability gets invulnerability. And then somebody's got to use a basic attack to get through it. And if you rune these heroes right, they are tough. Like, you don't necessarily have to go all offense. You go with a little bit of defense on there, especially since now all 3 of the Gorgons have epics. It's pretty nice. So, finally, Serpent Strike. Melee physical attack on target enemy, so it's only one enemy, for 42-33 base damage, stealing all buffs with a chance to freeze, and it mostly freezes. Purges all venom on the target for added damage. So once again, you're doing a purge. You're stealing all of their buffs, which means if they're sitting there with a Guardian Rune and a Guardian Rune buff and a Taunt Rune buff and all this other crap, and they're really, really tough to kill, hit them with this, all of a sudden they're pushovers. So all in all, this is a good hero, especially leveled up. Like I said, the stats are not bad, and I could shift this a little bit now because she's even more survivable now because of the epic, so I could probably get her up to maybe around 17,000 defense with about 15,000 offense, probably, without like really getting too difficult with the epic bonus. And then, of course, on top of all of that, she'll get bonuses from everybody else, and you pair them with Jin, and you've got another 25% damage reduction on top of everything else. So they are very survivable. Quite surprising.